Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this one we're going to be going through the Fire Succubus, and more specifically the build that I've been using with her and really enjoying on her so far. But we will go through the skills, the stats, the glyphs, and then I'll take you through some arena matches and the way I've been using her in my team compositions. So the first thing we'll look at is the skills. The big one for her is this second skill. Attacks an enemy with damage increased based on own max speed, and instantly drains their HP with both effects ignoring defense, and the drain is equivalent to 50% of her own HP. So that 50% of own HP is where I've decided to focus my energy, and trying to get her fairly tanky so that you get that guaranteed damage no matter who the enemy is. So with my almost 19k HP, she'll be doing about just under 9,500 damage from that HP drain portion of her attack only, and then you get the extra bit of attack and speed scaling with your crit damage, all that on top of it, which is really nice. So basically, if we look at my attack at the moment and my speed with my crit damage, so when I use that second skill, if I have the attack buff and crit damage buff from my Earth Zealot, she's going to be doing that around 9.5k damage from the HP drain, and anywhere from 10 to 15k additional damage from the attack and speed based portion of that attack if it crits. So it's a solid sort of around that 20 to 25k damage just for that skill, but she's a very tanky build, which is very helpful. So I'll go into more what I use her for when I take you into an arena game, but that's the second skill. That's what really makes her. The other fantastic thing about her is this passive. Recovers the turn if it kills a creature, awesome for reducing the cooldown on that second skill. Otherwise increases the speed and attack for one turn, which is also awesome because as she keeps getting her turns, coming around to running that second skill off cooldown again, she's going to have an attack buff and speed buff, which her second attack scales off of anyway. So it's a fantastic kit. The second skill, I got an evolution which increases damage based on crit damage. The other one is increased on speed. And I'm not 100% sure. I've got MMEG farm up on my other screen over here, and I'm not 100% sure how it works, but when we look at the multipliers over there, the speed-based one does one times attack and then plus speed times 4. Whereas the crit damage one takes into crit damage times 10. And I'm not sure if with my crit damage, whether that would be the 188 crit damage or whether the 100 isn't included, so it's just 88. I haven't been able to test that, but they both seem like really decent evolution skills, give her a lot of extra damage and all that sort of thing. The next thing we'll look at is her stats. So at 5-star, her base HP is 6,380. That puts her into the percentage category, but not too far into the percentage. So it's only about 300 above that crossover line. So don't get too fussy if you're building a HP one, whether you have flat or percentage. Just go for the better substats. Obviously, percentage is a little bit better, but if you've got better substats on a flat HP glyph, then go for that. Her attack is 1,594, which is absolutely sky high, so it's enormous attack, and I'll talk about it when we go into glyphing, the kind of damage she can do if you build her on an attack build. And then her defense is 443, so really low defense. Flat defense she's going to benefit from more, but I probably wouldn't put defense on her. Maybe if you want her to be really tanky in one of these HP builds and you put one defense glyph on, that might be a way, but yeah. That's pretty much the main gist of it. Her base speed is also really high at 82, which is nice. Crit rate, because she's an attacker, is 30. And yeah, so the evolution is the speed. So we'll go into the glyphs. So the way I've got mine glyphed at the moment is speed, just for that. You want to take more turns, because she self-speed buffs, it gets her turns around quicker, and the second skill scales off of speed. So speed is never bad on her. I've actually got one crit rate glyph here. Like I was talking about, if I crit, even without any attack investment or crit damage investment, that second skill attack portion will be doing 10 to 15k depending on the element of the enemy and the buffs that I have. So that's fantastic. That's why I've got the crit glyph. Ideally, I wouldn't have crit here if I had better substats on my other glyphs. But then I go for 3 HP glyphs. This one's great. It's got 11 speed. Awesome. This one's got the 7 crit. and then this one's got the 6 speed and 3 crit. They're not the best glyphs you'll ever see, but they're fairly decent. So I'd actually really like to try a build just to get a little bit more damage out of her. I'm finding that some air mystics, which is what I love to counter with her, are getting too tanky for me to one-shot. So I'd actually really like to try these middle 2 being HP glyphs, and then on the bottom having 1 HP and 1 attack. Just to get that extra bit of damage out of that second skill when I crit, but obviously I need good substats of crit to be able to get away with that. But that's just something in the ideal world. If you've got great glyphs, maybe try it. The other thing I want to talk about is the sets. I've got mine on Haste Lifesteal at the moment. Lifesteal, I find if you're doing an attack build, which I'll talk about in a sec, is very important. But on this HP build, it's just sort of about tanking it out, because my first skill does next to no damage because I haven't got any attack investment. That the lifesteal doesn't really come into play. I get the extra lifesteal on the second skill, but I would be getting that 50% heal anyway. So lifesteal not as important on this HP build. Haste never bad, speed always helps. But my ideal build that I'd love to test, and I've actually started farming some benefit and strength dungeons, is I'd love to try a immunity meditation set. Just for arena defense and offense, you can avoid getting those harmful effects, which is fantastic with the immunity. Sure, it can be purged, but it's just that little buffer that some people don't see coming. And then the meditation shows she can get around to using that second skill faster, because that is the main thing you want with her. You just want to be using that second skill. The idea with this tank build is that she can one-shot a big threat with on the first turn, and then basically stall out and survive until that second skill's up to one-shot the next monster and the next monster and the next monster. And then obviously you have your teammates to help her do that as well. But if we look at the attack build, it would be a standard attacker build. You could have double speed on the top, or you could have speed and attack, whatever you prefer. I like double speed on her just because, like I said, that passive gives her the speed buff, which the more speed you have, the more she benefits from that speed buff, and she'll get more turns quickly. Then you'd have something like your crit rate, crit damage on the middle. Obviously, if you've got good enough subs, you could go double crit damage. And then attack percent and attack percent for the bottom would be the attacker build. And that attacker build, I've had people's arena defenses, succubuses, hit me for 40 plus K with that second skill, and even up to sort of 10 to 12K with the first skill. So it's a very solid build. Also, if you're considering farming with her, that build's fantastic. Put it on lifesteal and she'll farm like a champion, because she just does so much damage with such a high base attack as well, and the good base speed. And obviously, like I said, in farming especially, getting that speed buff, even if you don't kill something, you're gonna overlap the enemies. So, but yeah, that attacking build, very viable in arena. Just with my team comp, I like the more one shot, then stall out, then one shot. So I'll take you into some arena matches, and I'll just try and showcase how I've been using her. So here we go. So this is the team that I'm probably going to have to bring this sort of thing into. So I've been using her with my Wind Ninja a lot. Obviously, it's just a hope that they don't have immunity on something at least, so my Wind Ninja can get a kill as well. But the fire and wind, they have great elemental coverage. So fire is weak to water, but the wind is strong against that. The wind is weak to earth, but the fire is strong against that. So they cover each other really well. So obviously the monk, if I see anything that I think could be faster than me, I just bring my monk in, then I'll boost. Now the big threat on this team is the other succubus, so I'll use this. We'll see if we can see some damage numbers. And that was the drain portion, and we didn't even see the crit portion, but that's alright, it mustn't have crit. We'll keep going through, and we'll do a couple more tests. But anyway, that's the idea. And then my Wind Ninja can take out another threat, and then it's pretty much game over, and I can just auto the rest of that. So that's the like I said, that HP drain, I don't know whether it's because the HP drain was enough to one-shot that succubus that it didn't need the damage portion. But I'll try and find something like a Wind Mystic that I've been having a lot of trouble with, and show you with that. We'll just let this auto out. Okay, there we go. That one's done. Now we'll look for another match. Like I said, I'll try and find something with something a little bit tankier so we can actually see that extra damage numbers. We'll try this one because that giant should be HP build, so we shouldn't be enough to kill him with just the 9k. So we'll try this one. We'll bring the monkey in again just to try and stop that Crusader outspeeding us, and we'll see what we can do. Wow, the air server seems to be freezing up a bit, but here we go. Alright, so we'll try and stun this Crusader, and when you know we derp. Hey, he derps as well. That's alright, so now we'll boost, and then we'll look at this Earth Giant and see what we can do. And we didn't see it, but there was a pretty sure that said 15k as well. So that's your 15 plus your the drain as well. So it's really decent damage. Like I said, that's my whole point in using her, and especially she teams up real well with this Wind Ninja. Like I said, then he goes and one-shot something, increases cooldowns, and then it's just easy mode. But it's such solid damage. If you let me know if you want to see an attack build one, I'll do it next glyph removal if people want to see that. But I just figured attack was the way most people were going with her, and I just wanted to show this this other build because that guaranteed 9,000 damage is really awesome, especially if the threats on your enemy team are just like attacking threats. You can just get rid of them and then just stall your way until you can use that skill again. So we'll search for another one. I'll try and find something with something that's really... So this is a fairly tanky team, so we'll have a crack at this one. Hopefully they don't have immunity. I think this guy does have immunity, but I guess we'll find out. And just test it out. So in this, obviously I'm going to try and stun the dragon so that he doesn't take the turn. Okay, there we go. Now I'll boost, and I think I'll try and get rid of maybe the druid. And let's just see what we can hit for. I'll leave it on fast speed and hopefully we can just see it. So there you go. That was the 9,000 from the drain and the extra 12,000 for the crit. So it was 21, 22,000 once you add it all up, which is just, it's really solid damage. But like I said, where I am at the moment, it's becoming almost to be not enough damage for some of the units I want to kill. So that's why I really want to test it with an extra attack glyph in there, just to find out how much damage I can actually get extra out of when I crit with the damage portion of that skill. Because if it, say, increases to be 15 to 20k, that would be perfect for me, because I find that enemies are normally surviving with like 5 to 10% HP, and it's only just under the damage I need. So that's the other thing. Like I said, I'm going to start farming up those immunity and meditation glyphs because I think they'll really help. Worst case, I might try and steal some frenzy glyphs off something else to put on her just to get that crit rate up instead of having the meditation. But yeah, that's basically the main gist of the HP build on the Succubus. One-shot the threat and then just survive through, and then until you can one-shot another enemy. And I'm really enjoying the way it plays. I like feeling like I'm not the most frail thing in the arena and that I can actually take a few hits before I go down. And the other thing that I'll just quickly show you is, like, I'm looking at her in my defense as well. This is the defense I'm testing, but her being tanky, I've got the tanky Death Knight, I've got the really tanky monk in there as well. It's just a sort of annoying defense that my idea was to stall out, and then hopefully my staff can help do some damage, especially if people are using fast nuking teams. If they don't get those kills and I survive until my staff moves, the staff does do a lot of damage and it can really disrupt people. I'm going to embarrass myself and look at my log here. Oh, there we go. I've got two victories. That's more than I've seen in a few days. So it works okay sometimes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your build on your Succubus and the sort of numbers you're hitting. Like I said, I've been crit for upwards of 40,000 and above. So yeah, hope this helped out, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Cheers.